Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tony King. I'm a photographer and today I'm talking about one of the most beautiful places I've ever visited, which is Rovinj, Croatia. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that at least passably in English, but Rovinj, Croatia was one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. Venice is the most beautiful place I've ever been, and then I would say, honestly, Rovinj and Bruges in Belgium are two of the other places that I would say like, wow, like I really want to go back there someday. But still nothing holds a candle to Venice. But Rovinj, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. If you're in Croatia, go check it out. I really, really, really loved it. So I have plenty of pictures that I took there, but I'm not going to talk about them all today. I'm going to have different videos talking about different scenes I was trying to capture in Rovinj. That's something I was really practicing. That's another video. So today I'm going to talk about 11 images I took in Rovinj, and hopefully they show just the amazing beauty of this location. Firstly, we're walking down this marina from like where we parked, and you can see just like this coastal town with rocks bordering on the edge of these buildings, boats, people walking towards it. It's going up a big hill, big cliff. Not cliff, I guess hill is a better way of putting it. And I think there's a cinematic quality to this picture, but it also just shows kind of the scale of the city and the style of city that it is, which is just so beautiful. Near a market, I got this picture of this guy driving through, and I was trying to get, like, this picture would be so cool if the guy's face was in the mirror, and it low-key kind of is, but not enough that it is that cool. But his hand is perfectly in focus, and just the lighting on it kind of tinted through the glass of the windshield, and his side window that I'm looking through was super nice. There's a lot of story here. It doesn't necessarily have to be in Croatia, I suppose, for this to work in the way that it does for me. But I really like this photo, and it just so happened to be in Rovinj. We went up this bell tower, and it had all these like wooden stairs that were just like really thin pieces of wood, but it was super fun to go up. And so here I'm using kind of the borders of like the window kind of outlook area to frame up the shot, and in this look at the rest of the marina nearby and kind of the geography of the land. You can see the sea in the background. Hopefully I didn't say ocean in other videos because I know it's the sea anyway. But this is a really beautiful shot to me that has depth and layering, and so definitely something that I'm always looking to achieve. Looking down from the bell tower, I was able to get a couple different shots of people walking by themselves in the square in front of like the church, and this one I personally like the best because of like the shape that this guy has with his body and the shadow, and where he's walking, kind of the blue of his shirt contrasting with the very warm tones of the ground. And I like the depth added by the top of the church in the bottom left. So very happy with this particular shot as well. Next, the church itself was really, really beautiful on the inside, but also on the outside. You can see the cross at the top here and the roof, really nice. But the waves in the background here, and the way the light's hitting the different, edges of the waves here, it adds a really like cinematic glowy feel to the image. There's nothing like super out of focus, which is something that I used to go for all the time. But on this trip, I realized that you can get a little bit more cinematic quality sometimes if, it's not all the way out of focus at all times. So I really like this image, and I think it shows like the height and also of this location and the vicinity that you have to the sea. And here's another shot, like I had mentioned, of a solo person walking through the square in front of the church. My wife prefers this shot to the other one. Let me know what you think in the comments, but I also really like this shot, but I do just prefer the other one. I just think it had a little bit more scale and uniqueness to it. But this woman walking by herself, there's nice foreground objects. Well, there's nice layering objects, let's say, in the roof of the church and the tree, kind of giving some shape to this. And, she's walking with a lot of direction, which adds some story to the image, which is really nice. Moving on, we're going downhill. So now instead of looking down from up, I'm looking up from down. And I got this couple walking by in a silhouetted type style. I like how the stairs and the hills all in focus while they're also really in focus, and you can see the shapes of the clouds. It's all really nice. Caught the light really, really nice in this, I think, and their silhouette's very cool, very side profile view. Their hair looks nice, the hats, everything. And the walking together, it's romantic, it's sweet. So really happy with how this shot turned out as well. Next, I'm looking down at some people, you know, they went for a swim in the water. I got this bush in the foreground at the bottom, which is nice, but mainly we have this guy kind of sitting on top of the world with his buddy to the side. And there's a nice, there's a story here, cinematic quality to it that I think is really, really nice, that's really cool. There's a nice vibe of friendship and freedom to have fun in this image that I really like. Most of the people I've talked to have preferred the last one I showed, but I actually like this one more. There's some sort of curiosity with these young ladies as they're looking down at the water and clearly not going for a swim or anything anytime soon. They're just exploring on these rocks, and these rocks were just so amazing over the sea. So I like the colors here, and I just like the story here a little bit more than the last one. And the scale of it all, I think, is really neat. Two more Rovinj. This one really shows kind of the scale and the style of the city again, but from a closer perspective. And I've said in other videos, I like my buoys in my water, and I really think having that red buoy at the bottom of this image adds a little bit of interest. And from it just being just water, there's something there that's adding a little bit of interest. There you can see in a very small way, people working on the side, towards the cliff. There's people kind of getting very near the water, so there's some story. There's all these umbrellas, there's texture, and then of course there's the buildings coming out of the rocks. Just beautiful architecture in Rovinj, and I really like this shot. The lights hitting the buildings in a really, really nice way. So yeah, just what a beautiful place. Ending off at sunset. Yeah, I mean, wow, how lucky am I to have gotten this shot with the sun cutting through the clouds like this, so orange in the background at sunset. At the very bottom right of this, you can even see somebody standing on the edge of the cliff, which is kind of a neat little tiny touch, but really just these buildings and the shadows still have enough information to get their quality out there. But the sun rays and this orange light of the sunset, just beautiful. And I mean, it just encapsulated what a beautiful day it was in Rovinj to visit this city, and I'd love to go back. Just such a beautiful, beautiful place. I hope you enjoyed this video of me talking about Rovinj, Croatia. Maybe I'm working on their tourist board of advisory committee. You know, if they want to hire me, let me know. I really liked it. Such a beautiful place to photograph and just walk around and experience. So if you're in Croatia, definitely check out Rovinj for sure. But keep in mind, I was joking. I'm not on their tourist board. But hopefully this was a good way of showing the city and kind of my experience photographing it. Maybe a little bit of ideas here and there of things to look at when you're going through a city that you don't know that you're a tourist in, and how to avoid just taking a picture that's like a postcard, even though some of these are postcards and there's plenty of value in that, but not everything should be a postcard. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel and stick around for more. I got some more stuff in Rovinj, like I said earlier, that I'm going to go through in some more videos and learning how to sequence images. So there'll definitely be something to learn there for me, and maybe for you. So thanks for watching. I'll see you around.